Jim, I directed the show. Luckily, you guys came this week instead of last week because we're done with the set now. So this is like 12 days of set. So I keep telling everybody, I don't know if I would live in this house, but I don't know if I would live in any house that I live in. So, a couple of things. Intermission. We're going to do one intermission after the first act. For those of you who haven't been here before, bathrooms are at the top of the hill. Where you buy your tickets is also where you can go get lots of nice munchies in between acts and refreshments. We have Revenge of the Space Pandas coming up. I'm trying to do this all off the top of my head. It's the last 3 weekends in June. We are going back to our normal schedule of Friday through Sunday shows for Space Pandas. And then following that, we're doing Othello and Camelot is going to be our musical at the end of the season. So hopefully you guys can make that. This was a really interesting directing job for me, as you can imagine. I don't know how many of you guys have been here before, but hopefully you don't mind the remodeling that we're doing with the trailers and such. But it's been a unique experience for us as a cast and crew, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. The one thing I've noticed is everybody's so shocked when they come around and they don't see the barn. But once they get out here, it's like, it's no big deal. They totally forget that the barn's gone until they go walking back there during intermission. They're like, oh my God, the barn's gone again. So hopefully you guys appreciate everything that we've done and appreciate the fact that we're doing it out here. We've been talking for the last week or so about it. That was like such a 50-50 decision for us for about a month as to whether we were going to try and pull it off here or not. I think I feel a lot better when I see you guys out there knowing we made the right choice and that you guys can see this here as opposed to in some building that's not ours. And it would just be a weird experience. So hopefully you like it and you will come back and tell all your friends. We had huge crowds last weekend. We're hoping that we have even bigger crowds this weekend. So if you like it, make sure it's registered. Thanks a lot. I'll be back at intermission to do a raffle and give you guys a really great prize. So enjoy the show.
No, dear, not yet. Are the biscuits good?
Would it?
Won't you have another biscuit, Dr. Harper?
Oh, no. I'm afraid I have no appetite for dinner now. I always eat too many fruit biscuits just to taste the language.
Oh, but you haven't tried the quince. We always put a little apple in with it to take the tartness out.
No, thank you.
Well, we'll send you over a jar.
No. You keep it here so I'll be sure of having your biscuits with it.
I do hope they don't make us use that artificial flour again. I mean, with this war trouble, it may not be very charitable of me when I've almost come to the conclusion that this Mr. Hitler isn't a Christian.
If only Europe were on another planet.
Europe, sir?
Oh, yes, Teddy.
Point your gun the other way.
Gun?
Teddy.
To the west. There's your danger. There's your enemy. Japan.
Yes, of course.
Teddy.
No, Aunt Abby. Not so much talk about Europe and more talk about the canal.
Well, let's not talk about war. Will you have another cup of tea, dear?
No, thank you, Aunt Abby.
Dr. Harper?
No, thank you. I must admit, Miss Abby, that war and violence seem far removed from these surroundings.
It is peaceful here, isn't it?
Yes, peaceful. The virtues of another day are all here in this house. The gentle virtues that went out with candlelight, good manners, and low taxes.
It's one of the oldest houses in Brooklyn. It's just as it was when Grandfather Brewster built and furnished it, except for the electricity, and we use it as little as possible. It was Mortimer who persuaded us to put it in.
So I can believe that. Your nephew Mortimer seems to live only by electric light.
Oh, the poor boy has to work so late. I understand he's taking Elaine with him to the theater again tonight. Teddy, your brother Mortimer will be here a little later.
Delighted.
We're so happy to see Elaine Mortimer takes to the theater with him.
Well, it's a new experience for me to wait up until 3 o'clock in the morning for my daughter to arrive.
Dr. Parker, I hope you don't disapprove of Mortimer.
Well,
Why would we feel so guilty about it if you did, Sister Martha and I? I mean, since it was here in our home your daughter met Mortimer.
of course, Miss Abby, so I'll say immediately that I believe Mortimer himself to be quite a worthy gentleman. But I must also admit I watched the growing intimacy between him and my daughter with some trepidation for one reason, Miss Abby.
You mean his stomach, Dr. Harper?
His stomach?
His dyspepsia. Oh, he's bothered with it so, poor boy.
No, Miss Abby. I'll be frank with you. I'm speaking of your nephew's unfortunate connection with a theater.
The theater? Oh, no, Dr. Harper. Mortimer writes for a New York newspaper.
I know, Miss Abby, I know. But a dramatic critic is constantly exposed to the theater. And I have no doubt that what some of them do develop an interest in it.
Well, not Mortimer. You need have no fear of that. My Mortimer hates the theater.
Really?
Oh, yes. He writes awful things about the theater. But you can't blame him, poor boy. He was so happy writing about real estate, which he really knew something about. And then they just make him take this terrible night position.
My.
But as he says, the theater can't last much longer anyway. And in the meantime, it's a living. Yes, I think if we give the theater another year or two, perhaps. Oh, well, who do you suppose that is? Oh, no, thank you, Teddy. I'll go. Oh, come in, Mr. Brophy.
Miss Brewster.
How are you, Mr. Clyde?
Very well, Miss Brewster.
What news have you brought me?
Colonel, we have nothing to report.
Splendid, thank you, gentlemen. At ease.
You know Dr. Harper.
Sure. Hello, Dr. Harper. You come for the toys for the Christmas one.
Oh, yes.
That's a splendid work you men do, fixing up discarded toys. Give poor children a happy Christmas.
It gives us something to do when we have to sit around the station. You get tired of playing cards, you start cleaning your gun. First thing you know, you shot yourself in the foot.
Oh, Teddy, go upstairs and get that big box from your Aunt Martha's room. How is Mrs. Brophy today? Mrs. Brophy has been quite ill, Dr. Harper.
Pneumonia.
I'm sorry to hear that.
She's better now, a little weak still.
Well, I'm going to get some beef broth for you to take to her.
Don't bother, Miss Abby. You've done so much for her already.
No, we made it this morning. Sister Martha's taking some to poor Mr. Benitsky right now. I'll only be a moment. Sit down and be comfortable, all of you.
She shouldn't go to all that trouble. Listen, try stopping her and her sister from doing something nice, and for nothing. They don't even care how you vote.
When I received my call to Brooklyn and moved next door, my wife wasn't well. When she died, and for months before, well, if I know what pure kindness and absolute generosity are, it's because I've known the Brewster sisters.
You promised not to do that.
But I have to call a cabinet meeting to get the release of those supplies.
You used to do that in the middle of the night. They were Trace King, and they're a little afraid of him anyway.
Oh, he's quite harmless.
Yeah, suppose he does make you study Roosevelt. There's a lot worse people than you think there was.
Damn shame when I see more like this etching cuckoo.
Well, his father, the old girl's brother, I hear he was some sort of genius, wasn't he? And their father, Teddy's grandfather, seems to me I think he was a little crazy too.
Yeah, crazy like a fox. Make $1 million.
You're in Brooklyn?
Yeah, back in Jefferson. It's kind of a quack as us. Old Sergeant Everett's remember seeing. He used to house there sort of a clinic, trying to
Yeah, I hear he used to make some mistakes occasionally too.
well, that hard-nosed girl that followed him most is pretty useful in autopsies sometimes, especially boys with cases.
Well, whatever he did, he left his daughters fixed for life. Thank God for that.
Not that they ever steady them with themselves.
Yes, I'm well acquainted with their charities.
Oh, you don't know the 10th thing. When I was in the Missing Person Bureau, we were trying to trace this old man we never did find. You know there's a renting agency that has this house on its list for furnished rooms? Now, they don't rent rooms, but you can bet anyone coming here looking for a room goes away with a good meal and probably a few dollars in their hand.
It's just their way of thinking of people missing rent.
Well, isn't this nice?
That's new, Miss Brewster.
How do you do, Mr. Brody? Dr. Harper?
How are you, Miss Brewster? We dropped by to get the boys for the Christmas lunch.
Oh, yes, Teddy's Army and Lady Neighbor. They're all packed.
The colonel's upstairs after him right now. Apparently the cabin has to okay it, but
Oh, yes, of course. I hope Miss Brody's better.
she's doing fine, man. Your sister's going to get some soup from the detective.
Oh, yes, we made it this morning. I just took some to the poor man who wrote ever so many bones.
Oh, you're back, Martha.
How was Mr. Magnitsky? Oh, dear, I'm ready to your service. The doctor was there. They're going to amputate in the morning.
Oh, can we be present?
Oh. I asked him and he said it was against the rules of the hospital.
You could be of any service, and you must spare yourself something.
Well, here's the broth, Mr. Brophy. Be sure it's good and hot.
Yes, ma'am.
This is just fine. This'll make a lot of kids happy. You know, that O'Malley boy is nuts about soldiers.
That's General Wiles. I've retired here. What's this? The Oregon?
Oh, well, Daddy didn't put it back.
But the Oregon goes to Australia.
Now, Teddy.
And Abby, I've given my word to Fighting Bob Evans.
Oh, but Ted.
What's the difference what kid gets? Bobby Evans, Izzy Cohen? Well, we'll run along, man. Thank you very much.
Not at all. Goodbye.
I must be getting home.
Charge! Charge the blockhouse!
The blockhouse?
Oh, the stairs are always San Juan Hill.
Have you ever tried persuading that he wasn't Teddy Roosevelt?
Oh, no. But he's so happy being Teddy Roosevelt.
Once, a long time ago, remember, Martha, we thought if he would be George Washington, it would be a change for him.
And he just stayed under his bed for days. And wouldn't be anybody.
And we'd so much rather he be Mr. Roosevelt than nobody.
Well, if he's happy, and what's more important, you're happy, you'll see that he signs these.
What are they?
Oh, Dr. Harper has made all the arrangements for Teddy to go to Happydale Sanitarium after he pass on.
But why should Teddy have to sign it now?
It's better to have it all settled. If the Lord should take you away suddenly, perhaps we couldn't persuade Teddy to commit himself, and that would mean an unpleasant legal procedure. Mr. Witherspoon understands they're to be filed away until the time comes to use them. He's the superintendent of Happydale.
Dr. Harper has arranged for him to drop by tomorrow or the next day to meet Teddy.
I better be running along, or Elaine will be over here looking for me.
Oh, we'll give our love to Elaine. And Dr. Harper, please don't think harshly of Mortimer because he's a dramatic critic. Somebody has to do those things.
Did you just have tea? Isn't it rather late?
Yes, and dinner's going to be late too.
So why?
Well, Teddy, good news for you. You're going to Panama to dig another lock for the canal.
Delighted! That's fully, just fully. I should prepare at once for the occasion.
Daddy, while I was out.
Oh, yes, dear. I
Well, he just left. Didn't you meet him?
No, I took a shortcut to the cemetery.
Oh.
Mortimer hasn't come yet?
Oh, no, dear.
Oh, he asked me to meet him. Do you mind if I walk?
Oh, not at all, dear.
Oh, why don't you sit down, dear?
But we must really speak to Mortimer about doing this to you.
Oh, doing what?
Well, he was brought up to know better. When a gentleman takes a young lady out, he should call for her at her house.
Oh, there's something about calling for a girl at a party that discourages any man who doesn't order.
Well, he's done this too often. We're going to speak to him.
Oh, please don't. I think I'm going to say that night like prayer meetings is wonderful to live here every night of my life.
Well, it's comforting for us too, dear, because if Mortimer has to see some of those plays that he hasn't seen, at least he's sitting next to a minister's daughter.
My goodness, Elaine, what must you think of us? Not having tea cleared away by this time.
Now, Abby, don't do anything there in the kitchen until Mortimer gets here, and then I'll come and help you. Mortimer should be here any minute.
Oh, yes, that reminds me. Father must have been surprised not to find me at home. I better run over and call him.
Oh, it's a shame you missed it, dear.
Well, if Mortimer does come home, I'll be right back. Oh, hello, Mort.
Hello, Elaine.
Oh,
Martha.
Abby, Mortimer's here.
Are you going somewhere? I didn't know that sort of thing was still being done.
Oh, hello, Mortimer.
Hello, Aunt Abby.
Oh, how are you, dear?
Doing well. You're looking good yourself. You haven't changed much since yesterday.
Oh, my goodness, it was yesterday, wasn't it? Oh, we're seeing a great deal of you lately. Oh, well, come, sit down, sit down.
Abby, don't we need to do something in the kitchen?
Huh?
The tea thing.
Oh, yes, the tea thing. Well, you two just make yourselves at home.
Yeah, just make yourselves at home.
Well, can't you take a minute?
No, that was pretty obvious. Lack of inventiveness, I should say.
Yes, that's exactly what you say.
What do you want to eat tonight?
Oh, I don't care. I'm not very hungry.
I just had breakfast. What do you say we wait till after the show?
Well, that'll make it too late, won't it?
Now with the stink that we're going to see tonight. From what I've been told, we should be at the lake by 10 o'clock.
You ought to be more fair to these plays.
Are these plays fair to me?
I've never seen you walk out on the musical.
The musical is opening tonight. Here, you have to learn the rules of the game. The musical, there are always more postponements, and at least 3 changes of title. We played well in New Haven, but it needs a lot of work.
Oh, I was hoping it was going to be a musical.
You have such a light mind.
Not a bit. Musicals somehow have a humanizing effect on me. Well, after a serious play, you join the proletariat in the subway and I listen to a lecture on the drama. But after a musical, you take a taxi. And you make some passes.
Now, my dear, that is a very inaccurate piece of reporting.
Oh, I will admit that after the Bourbon play, you told me I had authentic beauty. And that is a hell of a thing to say to a girl. You know, it wasn't until after our very first musical that you told me I have nice legs. And I
You know, for a minister's daughter, you know an awful lot to life. Where'd you learn it?
Oh, in Shylock.
That's something I have to explain to you sometimes, dear. The close connection between eroticism and religion.
Religion never gets inside of Shylock. Which reminds me, I better ask Father, please not to wait up for me tonight.
I've never been able to rationalize it.
What?
I've fallen in love with a girl who lives in Brooklyn.
Falling in love? You're not stooping to the articulate, are you?
No. The only way I can regain my self-respect is to keep you in New York.
Did you say he?
Whoa, no. I am convinced that you are holding out for legalities.
Oh, I can afford to wait with Brooklyn. Why?
I can't afford to wait that long. Where can we be married in a hurry? Say tonight?
I'm afraid Father wants us not to cheat.
Oh, God. Your father could even make the marriage service sound industrial.
Are you writing an answer I heard you of it?
Sorry, my dear. It's not a traditional answer. I may have to get that really good nose tonight after all.
Now, don't pretend you love me that much.
Don't tell your father to wait up tonight.
I think tonight I better tell him to wait up.
I'll telephone one to the publish the bands.
Nevertheless.
All right. Everything formal and legal for that later next month?
I'll talk to Father and Stephanie.
Oh, no. We'll have to wait and see what's in rehearsal. There are going to be a lot of other first nights in October.
Hello, Mortimer.
Hello, Mr. President. How are you?
Pudding, just pudding. What news have you brought me?
Just this, Mr. President. The country is squarely behind you.
Yes, I know. Isn't it wonderful? Well, goodbye. Goodbye.
Well, where are you off to, Teddy?
Panama.
Panama's the cellar. He digs locks for the canal down there.
You're so sweet. I'm so fond of you.
He always was my favorite brother.
Hey, were there more of you?
There's one more, Jonathan.
Well, I've never heard of your grandson.
They don't like to talk about Jonathan too much. He left Brooklyn at an early age by West. Jonathan was the kind of boy who liked to cut worms in two with his teeth.
What came up?
You don't really know. He wanted to be a surgery grandfather, but he went to medical school first. In his practice, he got into trouble.
Oh, aren't you two going to be late for the theater?
Oh, well, we're skipping dinner, so we have another half hour.
Oh, well then I'll leave you two alone together again.
Oh, don't bother, darling. I'm going over to speak to Father. Before I go out with you, I'd like to pray over you. I'll be right back. I'll head to the cemetery.
No, if the prayer isn't too long, I might have time to read you by the stories.
Mortimer, that's the first time I've ever heard you quote the Bible. Oh, we knew Elaine would be a good influence for you.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I'm going to marry her.
What? Oh, darling. Oh. Martha! Martha, come right in here. Oh, I have the most wonderful news for you. Mortimer and Elaine are going to be married. We hoped it would happen just like this.
Well, Elaine must be the happiest girl in the world.
Happy? Just look at her leaping over those gravestones. Say, what's that?
What's what, dear?
Do you see that statue there? That's Horunda Nina Karnina.
Oh, no, dear. That's gonna be Stout ascending to heaven.
No, darling, I'm Mrs. Scout's left ear. That's a red-crested swallow. I've only seen one of those before in my life.
Well, I don't know how you would be thinking about a bird now. What with Elaine and the engagement and everything.
It's a vanishing species. Thoreau was very fond of them. Oh, say, by the way, I left a big white envelope over here last week. It was one of the chapters from my book on Thoreau. Have you seen it around here anywhere?
Well, if you left it here, it's got to be here somewhere.
Well, when are you going to be married? What are your plans? There must be something more you can tell us about Elaine.
Elaine? Yes, Elaine thought it was brilliant.
Well, what was, dear?
I checked her on Thoreau.
Oh, well, when Elaine comes back, I think we ought to have a little celebration. We must drink to your happiness. Martha, isn't there some of that Lady Baltimore cake left?
Oh, yes.
And I'll open a bottle of wine.
Oh, just to think. It happened in this room.
Yes.
Perfect.
Well, dear, with your fiancé sitting next to you tonight, I do hope the play is something you can enjoy for once. Well, it might be something romantic. What's the name of it?
Murder Will Out. When the curtain opens, the first thing you see on stage will be a dead body.
No.
Oh, no. And Abby, come in here, please.
Yes, dear.
You were going to make arrangements for Teddy to go to that sanitary in Happydale.
Oh, yes, dear. It's all been arranged. Dr. Harper was here today and brought the papers for Teddy to sign. There they are.
Yeah, he's got to send them right away.
Well, that's what Dr. Harper thinks. Then there won't be any legal difficulties after he
get him right up here. He's got to sign these.
Well, there's no such hurry as that.
No, when Teddy starts working on the canal, you can't get his mind on anything else.
Teddy has to go to Happydale now, today.
Oh, no, dear. That's not after we're gone.
Right away, I tell you, right away.
Oh, Mortimer, how can you say such a thing? Well, as long as we live, we'll never be separated from Teddy.
Listen, darlings, I've got some quite shocking news for you. You know how we always humored Teddy because we thought he was harmless?
Why, he is harmless.
He was harmless. That's why he has to be put away, why he has to be confined.
Mortimer, why have you suddenly turned against Teddy, your own brother?
You're gonna have to find that at some point. Might as well be now. Aunties, Teddy's killed a man.
Nonsense, dear.
There's a body in the window seat.
Oh, yes, dear, we know.
You know?
Yes, of course. But it has nothing to do with Teddy.
Oh, now, Mortimer, just forget the whole thing. Forget you ever saw the gentleman.
Forget it.
Well, we never dreamed he'd pee.
But who is he?
Well, his name's Hoskins. Adam Hoskins. That's really all I know about him, except that he's a Methodist.
That's all that you know about him? But who is he? What's he doing in there?
He died.
And Martha, men don't just get into window seats and die.
No, he died first.
Well, how did he die?
Mortimer, don't be so inquisitive. The gentleman died because he drank some wine with poison in it.
How did poison get into the wine?
Well, we put it in the wine because it's less noticeable. If you put it in tea, it has a distinct odor.
You put it into the wine?
Yes, and I put Mr. Hoskins in the window seat because Dr. Harper was coming.
So you knew what you had done. You didn't want Dr. Harper to find the body.
Not at tea. That wouldn't have been very nice. Now, Mortimer, you know the whole thing. Just forget about it. I do think Martha and I have a right to our own little secrets.
And don't you tell Elaine. Oh, Abby, while I was out, I stopped with Mrs. Schultz. She's much better. But she would like for us to take Junior to the movies again.
Oh, well, we must do that tomorrow or the next day.
Yes, but this time we're going to go where we want to go. Junior's not going to drag me into another one of those scary movies.
City desk. Al, hey, you know who this is? That's right. Say, when I left the office, did I say where I was going? What'd I say? That's right. It took me about a half hour to get to Brooklyn, wouldn't it? Uh-huh. Then what time you got? That's right. I must be here. Hey, Martha, come in here. Well, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do?
What are we going to do about what, dear?
There's a body in the window seat.
Yes, Mr. Hoskins.
Well, good heavens, I can't turn you into the police. What are we gonna do?
Well, for one thing, dear, you stop being so excited.
For pity's sake, stop worrying. We told you to forget the whole thing.
Forget. My dear Aunt Abby, how can I make you realize it's something that's got to be done?
Mortimer, you behave yourself. You're far too old to be flying off the handle like this.
Mr. Hotchkiss.
Hoskins, dear.
Well, whatever his name is, you can't just leave him in there.
Well, we don't intend to, dear.
No, Teddy's down in the cellar now digging the lock.
You mean, you're gonna bury him?
Oh, yes, that's what we did with the others.
No, you can't bury Mr. Hot. Others?
The other gentleman.
When you say others, do you mean others? More than one others?
Oh, yes, dear. Let's see. This makes 11, doesn't it, Abby?
Oh, no, dear, this makes 12.
Oh, I think you're wrong, Abby. This is only 11.
No,
here and you wouldn't know. Look, Al, I'm glad you called. Get a hold of George right away. He's going to have to cover that plate tonight. I can't make it. I just can't. No, Al, you're wrong. Look, I'll tell you all about it tomorrow. Look, it's my apartment. I'm running it. You get a hold of George. All right. All right, now, where were we? 12!
Yes, Abby thinks we ought to count the first one, and that makes 12.
Okay. Who was the first one?
Mr. Midgley. He was a Baptist.
Of course, I still think we can't take full credit from him because he just died.
Martha means without any help from us. You see, Mr. Midgley came here looking for a group.
It was right after you moved to New York.
And it didn't seem right for that lovely room to be going to waste when there were so many people who needed it.
And he was such a lonely old man.
All of his kith and kin were dead and they left him so forlorn and
And
unhappy.
we felt so sorry for him.
And then when his heart attack came and he sat dead in that chair looking so peaceful. Remember, Martha, we made up our minds then and there that if we could help other lonely old men to that same peace, we would.
Drop dead right in that chair. How awful for you.
Oh, no, dear. I was read by old times. Your grandfather always had a cadaver or two around the house. You see, Eddie had been living in Panama, and he thought Mr. Midgley was a yellow fever victim.
That meant he had to be buried immediately.
So we all took him down to Panama, put him in the truck. Now that's why we told you not to worry about it all, because we know exactly what has to be done.
And that's how all this started? That man walking in here and dropping dead?
Well, of course, we realized we couldn't depend on that happening again, so...
Do you remember those jars of poison that were up on the shelves up in the grandfather's laboratory all these years?
You know your Aunt Martha's knack for mixing things. You've eaten enough of her pickle lily.
Well, dear, a gallon of very wine. I take 1 teaspoon of arsenic, add a half a teaspoon of strychnine, and then just a pinch of cyanide.
Should have quite a kick.
Yes. As a matter of fact, one of our gentlemen found time to say, how delicious.
I really must get things started in the kitchen.
I wish you could stay for dinner.
Oh, I'm trying out a new recipe.
I couldn't eat a thing.
Oh, well, I'll come in and help you, dear. Well, I feel so much better now. Oh, you have the bakery lane, don't you? Oh, how happy you must be. Well, I'll leave you alone with your thoughts, dear.
Ow. Ah, God. Ah. Oh, it's you.
Don't be cross, darling. Try to see that I was excited, so I told him about it, so that made it hard to take you away. But listen, darling, it's not going to wait after tonight.
And you run along home, and I'll call you up tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow?
You know I always call you every day or two.
Well, we're going to the theater.
No, we're not.
Well, why not?
Elaine, something's come up.
What? Mortimer, you lost your job.
What? No, I haven't lost my job. I'm just not going to cover that play tonight. Now, you run along home here.
Well, I'd like to know what it is, or you can tell me.
No, I can't.
But if we're going to be married,
Married?
have you forgotten how 15 minutes ago you proposed to me?
Did? Oh, I did. Well, as far as I know, that's still on. Now, you run along home, Elaine.
Listen, you can't propose to me 1 minute and throw me out of the house the next.
I am not throwing you out of the house, darling. Will you get out of here?
No, I will not get out of here. Not until I've had some kind of explanation.
Well, Hello! Yes, hi, Al. Yeah, hold on a minute, will you? What? All right, yes, it's important, but it can wait, can't it? Yes, will you just hold on a minute, all right? Elaine! You are a sweet girl, and I love you very much. I've got a lot in my mind right now. I want you to go home and wait until I call you.
Oh, don't try to be masterful.
When we are married and I have my own problems to face, I hope that you're less tedious and uninspired.
And when we're married, if we're married, I hope I find you adequate.
Elaine! 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 Hey! Oh. Hello, Al? Hello? 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 Hello?
Oh, that's the doorbell, dear, not the telephone. How do you do? Come in.
I understand you have a room to rent.
Yes, won't you step in?
Are you the lady of the house?
Yes, I'm Miss Brewster, and this is my sister, another Miss Brewster.
My name's Nick.
Well, won't you sit down? I'm sorry, we were just setting the table for dinner.
City desk. Let me talk to Al again. Al! City desk! What? Sorry, wrong number.
May I see the room?
Why don't you sit down for a minute and let's get acquainted?
That won't do much good if I don't like the room.
Miss Brooklyn, you're home.
I've got it. Live in a hotel. Don't mind.
City desk, please.
Are your family Brooklyn people?
I've got a family.
All alone in the world?
Yep.
Well, you've come to just the right house. You sit down.
Hello, Al. More, we got cut off. Listen, Al, I cannot cover that play tonight. That's all there is to it. I just can't.
What church do you go to? There's an Episcopal church practically next door.
I'm Presbyterian. Used to be.
What is George doing in Bermuda? Well, yes, certainly I told you to go to Bermuda. This is my department, isn't it? You gotta find somebody else. Who else is there around the office, Al?
There always is much noise.
Oh, he doesn't live with us.
There must be somebody around the place. Look, Al, how about that office boy, huh? The bright one. The one we don't like. Well, you look around, Al. I'll wait.
I'd really like to see the room.
Well, it's upstairs. But won't you try a glass of our wine before we start out?
Never done.
Oh, we make it ourselves. It's elderberry wine.
Elderberry wine. I haven't tasted elderberry wine since I was a boy. Thank you.
There must be some printers around the place, Al. Look, the boy who sets my coffee, he ought to know about what I write. His name's Joe, third machine from the left. Al, come on, you trying to be the next Burns Mantle, huh?
You have your own elderberry.
No, but the cemetery is just full of them.
No, I am not drinking right now, but I am going to start right away.
You serve me.
We might. But first, just see whether you like our wine.
Oh,
Farmer, farmer, hey,
What?
hey,
Nah,
hey,
nah,
not that.
Oh! Woohoo! Hey! Come on! Go! Flee! You want to die, man? Go! Go! Run me alive, man! Flee! Live!
Now you've spoiled everything.
You cannot do things like that. I don't know how to explain this to you, but it's not only against the law, it's wrong. People wouldn't understand. He would not understand.
Maybe we shouldn't have told Farmer.
No.
What I'm trying to say is that, well, this has developed into a very bad habit.
More. We don't keep you from doing things you like to do. I don't see why you should interfere with us.
Hello! Oh, Al, look, yes, hi. Okay, fine. I'll cover the first act and pan the hell out of it. Look, Al, you gotta do something for me. Get a hold of O'Brien. Our our lawyer, the head of our legal department, Al. Okay, yes, have him meet me at the theater. Okay, can you do that for me? Don't put me down, Al. Okay, I'm starting now. All right, I gotta go to the theater. I can't get out of it. Before I go, I want you to promise me something.
Well, we'd have to know what it is first.
I love you both very much, and I know that you love me. And you know that there is anything in the whole wide world I would do to help the two of you. So I want you both to do just this one little thing for me.
What do you want us to do?
Don't do anything. And I mean anything. Do not let anyone else in this house, and leave Mr. Hoskins right where he is.
Why?
I want some time to think, and I've got quite a little to think about. You know I wouldn't want anything to happen to the two of you, right?
Oh, well, what on earth could happen to us?
Anyway, you'll do this for me, won't you?
Well, we were planning on holding services before dinner.
Services?
Certainly. You don't think we would not give Mr. Hoskins a full Methodist service, do you? Why, he was a Methodist.
Can't that wait until I get back?
Oh, then you can join us.
Yes, yes.
Oh, Mortimer, you really enjoy the services, especially the hymns. Remember how beautifully Mortimer used to sing in the choir before his voice changed?
Anyway, remember, you are not to let anyone else in this house while I am gone. Is it a promise?
Well,
Now, Martha, we can do that now that Mortimer's cooperating with us. Well, all right, Mortimer.
Have you got some paper around? I'll be back just as soon as I can. There's a man I've got to see first.
Here's some stationery for this new.
Yes, that'll be fine. I can save a lot of time if I write my review on the way to the theater.
Mortimer didn't seem quite himself today.
Oh, well, it's only natural. I think I know why.
Why?
Oh, he's just become engaged to be married. I suppose that always makes a man nervous.
Well, I'm so happy for Elaine. And the honeymoon ought to give Mortimer a real vacation. You know, I don't think he got much rest this summer.
Oh, well, at least he didn't go kiting off to China or Spain.
I could never understand why he wanted to go to those places.
Well, I think to Mortimer, the theater has always seemed pretty small potatoes. He needs something big to criticize. Something like the human race.
Oh, Abby, if Mortimer's going to come to the services from Mr. Hoskins, we'll need another hymnal. Oh, there's one in my room.
You know, dear, it's really my turn to read the services. But since you weren't here when Mr. Hoskins came, I want you to do it.
Well, that's very nice of you, dear. But are you sure you want me to?
Oh, it's only fair.
Well, let's see. Yes. And Mother's old room. Oh!
Oh, I'll go, dear.
Oh! It's hard to find anybody in.
Well, who do you suppose it is?
Right there. I'll walk back.
Oh,
It's two men, and I've never seen them before in my life.
are you sure?
There's a car parked at the curb. They must have come in. Let me look. Do you recognize them?
They're strangers to me.
We'll just have to pretend we're not home. All right.
Come in, Doc. This is the home of my youth. As a boy, I couldn't wait to escape from this place.
Now I'm glad to escape back into it.
Yeah, Tony. It's a fine night.
The family must still live here. There's something unmistakably Brewster about the Brewsters. I hope they have the fatted calf waiting to return the product.
Yeah, I'm hungry. Look, Tony! Drinks!
As though we were expected. A good omen.
Who are you and what are you doing here?
And Abby and Martha. It's Jonathan.
You get out of here.
But I'm Jonathan, your nephew Jonathan.
Oh, no, you're not. You're nothing like Jonathan, so don't pretend that you are. You just get out of here.
But I am Jonathan, and this is Dr. Einstein.
And he's not Dr. Einstein either.
Not Dr. Albert Einstein, Dr. Herman Einstein.
Who are you? You're not our nephew, Jonathan.
I see you're still wearing the black onyx ring that Grandmother Brewster bought in England. And you, Aunt Martha, still the high collars to hide the scars where grandfather's acid burned you?
Ah, his voice is like Jonathan's.
You've been in an accident?
No. Look at my face. Dr. Einstein's responsible for that. He's a plastic surgeon. He changes people's faces.
I've seen that face. Oh, Abby, Abby. It was that face.
Easy, Tony. Easy. Don't worry, ladies. The last 5 years, I give Tony 3 new faces. I give him another one right away. His last face. I saw that picture too. Just before I operate. And I was intoxicated.
You see, Doctor? You see what you've done? Even my own family doesn't recognize me.
Now, Tony, you're home. In this lovely house. How often he tells me about Brooklyn. About this house. About his aunt that he loves so much. They know it's you, Johnny. You know it's Jonathan. Speak to him. Tell him so.
Jonathan, it's been a long time. What have you been doing all these years?
Yeah, John. Where you been?
England, South Africa, Australia. The last 5 years, Chicago. Dr. Einstein and I were in business together.
Oh, well, we were in Chicago for the World's Fair.
Yeah, we found Chicago very warm.
Oh, yeah. It got hot for us, too.
Well, Aunt Abby, Aunt Martha, it's so good to see you again. You don't look a year older than I remember. Sweet, charming, hospitable. And Teddy, did he ever go into politics? My younger brother, Doctor, was determined to become president.
Teddy's fine, just fine. And Mortimer's well, too.
Yes, I know about Mortimer. I've seen his picture above the head of his father. It seems that he has reached the fulfillment of his early nasty nature.
Oh, we're very fond of Mortimer.
Well, Jonathan, it's good to see you again.
Bless you, Aunt Martha. It's good to be home again.
Martha, mustn't let what's on the stove boil over.
Yes, you must excuse us for a minute, Jonathan, unless you're in a hurry to go somewhere.
Well, Johnny, where do we go from here? We got to think fast. The police have pictures of that place. They got to operate on you right away. We got to find a place for that. And a place for Mr. Spinozzo, too.
Please don't worry on that lousy brat.
But Johnny, we got a hot stiff on our hands.
Forget Spinoza.
But you can't just leave a dead body in the rumble seat. Ah, Johnny, you shouldn't have killed that guy. He's a nice fellow. He gives us a lift. And what happens?
He said I looked like Boris Karloff. That's your doing, Doctor.
Now, Johnny, we find some place. I fix you up quick.
Tonight.
Oh, Johnny, we got to eat something first. I'm hungry. I'm weak.
Jonathan, we're very happy that you remembered us and you took the time to come we were never happy while you were in it. So we've just come in to say goodbye.
Aunt Abby, it comes as no surprise your feeling toward me. I know that it caused you many heartaches as a child.
No, you were quite a trial to us, Jonathan.
But I promised Dr. Einstein that no matter how fast we passed through Brooklyn, that we would stop here for one of Aunt Martha's home-cooked dinners.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm afraid there wouldn't be enough.
Oh, well, it's a pretty nice sized pot roast, Dad.
Pot roast!
I think it's at least for the two to invite them for dinner.
Thank you, Aunt Martha. We'll stay for dinner.
Well, we'll hurry things along.
Yes.
Oh, Jonathan, if you want to freshen up, why don't you use the washroom in Grandfather's old laboratory?
Is that still there?
Oh, yes, it's just as he left it. Well, I'll help Martha get things started since we're all in a hurry.
Well, we get the meal anyway. Grandfather's laboratory, just as it was, Doctor. The perfect operating room.
Yeah, too bad we can't use it.
After you're finished with me, why, we could make a fortune here. The laboratory. A large ward in the attic, 10 beds in Brooklyn, crying out for your talent.
Why work yourself up, Johnny? Anyway, for Brooklyn, I think we're a year too late.
Oh, no, Doctor. Practically everybody in Brooklyn needs a new face.
Oh, but so many of the old ones are locked up.
Very small percentage, and the boys in Brooklyn will pay generously to stay out of jail.
Take it easy, Johnny. Your aunts, they don't want us here.
We're here for dinner, aren't we?
Yeah, but after dinner?
Leave that to me, Doctor. I'll take care of it. Why, this house could be our headquarters for years.
Oh, that would be beautiful, Johnny. Just think, this nice, quiet house. Those aunts of yours, such sweet ladies. I love them already. I get the bags, yeah?
Wait a moment, Doctor. We have to be invited.
But you just said that.
We'll be invited.
And if they say no?
Doctor, two helpless little old women.
Oh, it's like come true, a beautiful dream.
Only I hope you're not dreaming, huh?
It's so peaceful.
That's what makes this house so perfect. It's so peaceful.
Throughout the season, so any of the shows you come to, we have some kind of drawing in. Sometimes it will be like tonight's season pass, but often it's something that has been donated by an area conversion. I just picked up 3 gift certificates for the Revenge of the Space Pandas from So, you know, and we thank our sponsors so much. We go here, and what we do is we ask you to fill out with your name, and we reach in.
Just the raffle we did the other night, we gave away a day for Charlie, so. But they took the season ticket anyway, surprisingly enough.
You tried to throw a game, they said, I don't think so. All right, I'm going to reach in here. I'm going to grab, roll, please. Vicki McCaskey. Congratulations. Make sure you fill your name out on this, and we welcome you back. You're going to have many other opportunities.
And you're going to wear your shirt.
And you got a shirt, too. All right. That works out. All right. Well, we thank you all for coming tonight. If you decide you don't need your program, just drop it in the recycle bin. You'll see it. Shelter Lake exit this evening. And we look forward to having you do many more of our shows. Thank you so much again for coming. I don't think we did. We do have a great website which will give you times where you can audition to be in a show by with us on the stage or to help with building sets. Also, the shirts are listed on that website, and if you don't buy one tonight, it's very easy. You pay through a payment called PayPal, and then we deliver right after the shirt. So if you don't buy one tonight, they're still out there available. Check it out. It's a great website, and it will help you keep track of what we are up to as far as we rebuild, and our feeding season is really going well thanks to all of the hard work of our actors, directors, and people within this community. They have been outstanding. The city government, parks and recreation, a lot of private business. We're just amazed and just totally shocked in a positive way by the kind of support given to this community. There's people like you coming up to see us. So again, many more plays. Come again. We'd love to see you. And enjoy.
Yes, Auntie, those years in Chicago were amongst the busiest and the happiest of my life.
And from Chicago, we go to South Bend, Indiana.
You would not be interested in our experience in South Bend, Indiana.
Well, Jonathan, you've led a very interesting life, I'm sure. But we really shouldn't have allowed you to talk so late.
I might say that my meeting Dr. Einstein in London changed the whole course of my life. You may remember I was in South Africa, the diamond business, then in Amsterdam, the diamond market. I wish to go back to South Africa, and Dr. Einstein made that possible for me.
Oh, good job, Johnny. When the nurse is taking bandages off, his face looks so different. They had to introduce me.
I loved that face. I still carry a picture of you with me.
Well, this looks more the way you used to look, but still, I wouldn't know.
I think we'll go back to that face, Doctor.
Yeah, it's safe now.
I know you both want to get to where you're going.
Oh, I'm so full of that delicious dinner of yours, Auntie. I couldn't move a muscle.
Yeah, it's nice here.
After all, it's very late and I need to go to bed.
I found it! I found it!
What did you find, Teddy?
The story of my life, my biography. Here is the picture of General. There we are, both of us. President Roosevelt and General Goebbels at the Labor Cup. That's me, General, and that's you.
Hi, how I've changed.
You see, that picture hasn't been taken yet. We haven't even started on the Labor Cup. We're still digging lots. And now, General, we will both go to Panama to inspect the new rock.
No, No, Teddy, not to Panama.
We'll go some other time. Panama's a long way off. Nonsense, it's just out in the cellar. The cellar?
We gotta get Panama Canal in the cellar.
General Goebbels, as President of the United States, Commander-in-Chief of the Army and the Navy, and the man who gave you this job, I demand that you accompany me on the inspection of the new dock.
Daddy, it's time you went to bed.
I beg your pardon. Who are you?
I'm Woodrow Wilson. Go to bed.
No, you're not Wilson. But your face is familiar. Now let me see. You're not anyone I know now. Perhaps later. Oh yes, on my hunting trip to Africa. You look like someone I might meet in the jungle.
Oh, it's your brother Jonathan, dear.
He's had his face changed.
Oh, so that's it. A nature faker.
And perhaps you'd better go to bed, Teddy. Jonathan and his friend have to go back to their hotel.
General Goebbels, inspect the canal.
All right, Mr. President. We go to Panama. Boy, that's just bully. Follow me, General. It's down south, you know.
Well, bon voyage. And Daddy, I must correct a misapprehension of yours. You mentioned a hotel. We have no hotel. We came directly here.
Well, there's a very nice little hotel just
Hey,
3 blocks down to the...
This is my home.
Jonathan, you can't stay here. We need our rooms
Need them for what?
for our lodgers.
Have lodgers here?
Well, not just right now, but we plan to.
And my old room is free.
Jonathan, there's no place for Dr. Einstein.
He can stay in the room with me.
No, Jonathan, you can't stay here.
And Abby, you mentioned earlier that as a child I could be disagreeable. It would not be very comfortable for any of us if I would
Maybe
be
we better
forced.
let him stay tonight.
Well, just overnight, Jonathan.
That's settled. Please get our room ready immediately.
It just needs airing out.
Yes, we keep it ready to show our lodgers. I'm sure you and Dr. Einstein will find it comfortable.
You have a very distinguished guest, Dr. Einstein. I'm sure you don't appreciate it now, but you will. In a few weeks, you'll see a very different looking Jonathan.
He can't operate on you here.
Dr. Einstein and I expect to be quite busy. Oh! I forgot to tell you, we're converting grandfather's laboratory into an operating room.
Jonathan, we will not let you turn this house into a hospital.
A hospital? Heavens no. It will be a beauty parlor. Dr. Einstein, my aunts have invited us to live with them. Oh, you fixed it.
Well, you're sleeping here tonight.
We get our room ready.
For tonight.
Yes.
Johnny, what? When I go down in the cellar, what do you think I find? What?
The
Panama Canal!
The Panama Canal.
It just fits Mr. Spinozzo. It's a whole teddy dog, 6 feet long and 4 feet wide.
Down there.
It isn't they knew we were bringing Mr. Spinozzo along. That's hospitality.
It's quite a joke on my aunts. They're living in this house with a body buried in the cellar.
How do we get him in?
Well, we can't walk him through the door. We'll pull the car around between the house and the cemetery. Then when they've gone to bed, we'll bring him in through the window.
Bed? Just think, we've got a bed tonight.
Doctor! Have to operate tomorrow, and you better be sober this
I
time.
fix you up beautiful.
And if you don't,
Jonathan, your room's ready.
well, then you two can run along to bed. We're going to pull the car around behind the house.
It's okay where it is until morning.
I don't want to leave it on the street.
It might be against the law.
And what are we going to do? Well, we're not going to let them stay more than one night in this house, for one thing. I mean, what would the neighbors think? People coming in here with one face and going out with another.
What are we going to do about Mr. Hoskins?
Oh, Mr. Hoskins. Oh, it can't be very comfortable for him in there. And he's been so patient, the poor dear. Well, I think we should get Teddy to come upstairs and take him down to the cellar right away.
Abby, we would not invite Jonathan to the services.
Oh, no. We'll wait until they go to bed, and then we'll come down and hold the services.
General Goins was very pleased. He says that now is just the right size.
Teddy! Teddy, there's been another yellow fever victim.
Dear me, this will be a shock to the general.
Well, we mustn't tell him about it.
But it's his department.
No, Teddy, we mustn't tell him. It would just spoil his visit.
I'm sorry, Aunt Tabby. I'm afraid, it's out of my head. It's out of the question not telling you. We'll have to be told. It's out of my hands.
Oh, Teddy, we must keep it secret.
Yes.
A state secret?
Yes, a state secret.
Promise?
You have the promise of the President of the United States. Bless my heart and hope to die. Now, let's see. How are we going to keep it a secret?
Well, Teddy, you go back down in the cellar, and when I turn out the lights, when it's all dark, then you come up and take the poor man down to the canal. Now go along, Teddy.
And then we'll come down later and hold services.
You may say that the President will say a few words. Now, where is the poor devil?
Oh! There's a window seat.
Dear me, it seems to be spreading. We've never had yellow fever in there before.
Martha, when Jonathan and Dr. Einstein come back, let's see if we can get them to go to bed right away.
Yes, and then by the time they're asleep, we'll be dressed for the funeral.
Yes.
Abby, I've never even seen Mr. Hoskins.
Oh, that's right. You were out. Well, you just come right over here and see him now. He's really very nice looking, considering he's a Methodist.
The luggage through here.
Jonathan, your room's waiting for you. You can go right up.
Then you two can run along with that. I'm afraid we don't keep Brooklyn hours.
Now, I know you both must be tired, and we don't go to bed this early.
You should. It's time I came home to take care of you.
But we weren't planning to go.
And Martha, did you hear me? Go to bed. The instruments can go up to the laboratory in the morning. Come along, Aunt Martha. Another flight, Doctor. All right, Aunt Abby.
I'll wait till you're up and then turn out the lights.
Now, Aunt Abby,
I'll be up in a minute.
did you hear me? Go to bed.
outside. I'll open the window and we'll pass him through.
No, he's too heavy for me. No, you go around and push. I stay here and pull. And together, we get him to Panama.
All right. I'll go outside. When I rap on the glass, you open the window. We'll pass him through.
All right. Is that you, Tony? Okay, all right, let's go. Oh, wait a minute. You lost a leg somewhere. All right, wait. Shh. That was me, Tony. I slipped. Then his shoe came off. All right, come on. Okay, I got him. Somebody at the door. Tony, you go. No, I stay here. You go quick. All right, then. Oh, you're so heavy. Oh, what are they feeding you? And you go. Sorry.
Miss Abby, Miss Martha! Miss Abby, Miss Martha! Miss Abby! Miss Martha! Miss Abby? Oh, what was that? Is that you, Teddy? Who are you?
Who are you?
I'm Elaine Harper. I live next door.
What are you doing here?
I came to see Miss Abby, Miss Martha.
Doctor, the lights. You picked a rather untimely moment for our social call.
I better explain what you're doing here.
We happen to live here.
You don't live here. I'm in this house every day, and I've never seen you before. Where are Miss Abby and Miss Martha? What have you done to them?
Perhaps we'd better introduce ourselves. This is Dr. Einstein,
Dr. Einstein.
a most distinguished surgeon and something of a magician.
And I suppose that you're going to tell me that you're worse.
I'm Jonathan Brewster.
Oh, you're Jonathan.
I see you put it.
Yes, just today for the first time.
And what did they say about it?
Oh, nothing. Just there's another brother named Jonathan. That's all he said. Well, that explains everything. And now that I know who you are, I'll just go right in the loft room. If you kindly unlock the door.
That explains everything. Just what did you mean by that? What are you doing here at this time of night?
I thought I saw someone crawling around the house. I suppose it was you.
You saw someone prowling around the house.
Yes.
What else did you see?
Just someone walking around the house in the car.
You saw someone walking around the house to the car. What else did you see?
That's it. That's all. That's why I came over here. I wanted to tell Miss Abby to call the police, but if that was you and that was your car, I don't need to bother her. So I'll just bring it along.
What was the man doing in the car?
I don't know. I was on my way over here.
I think you're lying.
I think she tells the truth.
I
Let her go.
think she's lying. Breaking and entering to a house at this time of night. I think she's dangerous. I think she's guilty of lying around.
Take your hand off of me!
It's going to be a private funeral.
Teddy, tell his men who I am!
That's my daughter, Alice. sneak thief. We've taken care of it. Go back to your room.
Well, we'll call the police.
We've called the police. It's taken care of. Go back to your room.
This is your brother Jonathan, and this is Dr. Einstein.
I know this isn't a nightmare. What is it?
Come back home, Mortimer.
Who did you say this was?
It's your brother Jonathan, dear. He's had his face changed. Dr. Einstein performed the operation.
Jonathan? Jonathan, you always were a horror. Do you have to look like one?
Easy, Johnny. Easy, easy.
Mortimer, have you forgotten when we were boys? Being tied up to the bedpost, the needles under your fingernails?
My God, it is. Yes, I remember you. I remember you as the most detestable, vicious, venomous form of animal life I ever knew.
Oh, now don't you two boys start quarreling again the minute you've seen each other.
There isn't going to be any fight, Aunt Abby. Jonathan, you are not wanted here. Get out of this house now.
We've been invited to stay.
Not in this house.
Well, just for tonight.
I don't want him anywhere near me.
But we did invite them for tonight, and I don't think it would be very nice to go back on our word.
All right, fine. Just for tonight. For the first thing tomorrow morning, out. Where are they sleeping?
Oh, well, we put them in Jonathan's old room.
Oh, no, that's my old room. That's where I'm sleeping. I am here to stay.
Oh, I'm so glad.
Johnny, we sleep down here.
You bet your life you sleep down here.
You sleep on the sofa, and I'll sleep on the window seat. The window seat?
Well, let's not argue about this. I mean, the window seat's good enough for me. I can sleep on the window seat.
You know, Johnny, all of these arguments, it makes me think of Mr. Spinozo.
Also. Well, Mortimer, we wouldn't want to inconvenience you, so we'll sleep down here tonight, and you can have the room.
Jonathan, your sudden consideration for me is rather unconvincing.
Come along, Johnny, we get our things out of the room, eh?
Doctor, you know, I've completely forgotten about Mr. Spinoza.
Who is this Mr. Spinoza?
Just a friend of ours that Johnny's been looking for.
Well, don't bring anyone else in here.
It's all right, Johnny. But in fact, I tell you all about it.
Mortimer, you don't have to sleep down here. I'll go in with Martha and you can take my room.
It's no trouble at all, Aunt Abby. We'll be packed in a few minutes, and then you can have the room, Mortimer.
I told you you're just wasting your time. I'm sleeping down here.
Mortimer,
What's the matter with you, darling?
I've almost been killed.
You almost been... Abby! Martha!
It was Jonathan. He mistook her for a sneak thief.
No, it's more than that. He's some kind of a maniac. Mortimer, I'm afraid of him.
Oh, darling, you're trembling. Have you got any smelling salts?
Oh, no. Then do you think some hot tea or coffee would help?
Oh, some coffee. That's something for me too. And some sandwiches. I haven't had any of them.
We'll make something for both of you. Oh, Martha, we can leave our hats down here now.
You're going somewhere? You know what time it is? It's after 12. 12! Elaine, you need to go home right now.
What? Why, you wanted some sandwiches for you both. I won't be a minute.
You don't you remember we're going to celebrate your engagement? Yes, that's what we'll do. We'll have a nice supper for both of you. And we'll open a bottle of wine.
Oh, all right. No wine. No wine.
Mortimer, what is going on in this house?
What do you mean what's going on in this house?
Well, you're supposed to go to dinner with me every night. You called off. You asked me to marry you. I said I would. And I consider you throw me out of the house. And just now, after your brother brother tries to strangle me, you want to chase me home. Now listen, Mr. Brewster, before I go home, I want to know where I stand. You love me.
Elaine, I love you very much. In fact, I love you so much that I can't marry you.
Have you suddenly gone crazy?
I don't think so, but it's only a matter of time. See, Elaine, insanity runs in my family through it practically gallops. That's why I can't marry you.
Well, listen, you've got to do better than that.
No, it's true. If you really knew my family, well, it's what you'd expect if Salvador Dali had directed Come with the Wind.
Now, just because Teddy's a
No, it goes all the way back to the first Brewster, the one who came over on the Mayflower. You know, back in those days when the Indians used to scalp the settlers? He used to scalp the Indians.
Mortimer, that's ancient history.
No, it's the whole family. My grandfather, he tested his patent medicines out on dead people to be sure that he wouldn't kill them.
But he wasn't so crazy, he made $1 million.
And then there's Jonathan. He tried to kill you. You just said he's a maniac.
But he's your brother, not you. I love you.
And then there's Teddy. You know Teddy. He thinks he's Roosevelt. No, my dear. No Brewster should ever marry. I realize now if I had been my father in time, I would have stopped him.
But darling, all this is proof that you're crazy. I mean, look at your aunts. They're roosters, aren't they? And they are the sweetest, sweetest people I know.
Even they have their own peculiarities.
Yes, what lovely peculiarities. Kindness, generosity, human sympathy.
There's another one!
Oh, Mortimer, there are plenty of them. But you can't tell me anything about your aunts.
And I'm not going to. Listen, Blaine, you gotta go on something very important has just come up and you need to go home right now.
Up? Up from where? We're here alone together.
I know I'm acting irrationally, but just put down the fact that I'm a bad Brewster.
Look, if you think you're going to get out of this by pretending that you're insane, you're crazy. You may not marry me, but I am marrying you. I love you. You don't.
Well, if you love me, will you get the hell out of here?
Well, will you at least walk me home? I'm afraid.
Afraid of a little walk to the cemetery?
Mortimer.
Of course, my darling. Well, thank you very much, dear. I'll see you tomorrow morning.
You critic!
Abby, Martha, come in here right now. Right now!
Yes, dear, what is it? Well, where's Elaine?
Oh, you promised me you weren't going to let anyone else in this house.
Well, Jonathan just walked in.
I don't mean Jonathan.
Dr. Einstein.
I don't mean Dr. Einstein. Who is that in the window seat?
We told you. Mr. Hoskins.
It is not Mr. Hoskins.
Who can that be?
You mean you don't know?
Well, I most certainly am telling you that. Oh, my goodness, this is a fine how do you do. It's just so anybody thinks he can walk into this house.
And Abby, don't try to talk your way out of this. This is one of your gentlemen.
Boy, how can you say such a thing? That man is an imposter. And if he came here to be buried in our cellar, he's mistaken.
You told me you put Mr. Hoskins in the window seat.
Yes, I did.
Well, this man could have just gotten the idea from Mr. Hoskins. Well, by the way, where is Mr. Hoskins?
He must have gone to Panama.
Oh, you married him?
No, not yet. He's just down there waiting for the services, the poor dear. We haven't had a minute with Jonathan in the house. Oh, dear. We always did want to have a double funeral. But I will not read services over a total stranger.
A stranger? And Abby, there are 12 bodies down in the cellar. And you admit to poisoning every single one of them.
Yes, I do. But you don't think I'd stoop to telling a fib? Martha!
You're...
Oh, Mortimer! I'd like to have a word with you.
Word is all you'll have time for, Jonathan. Because I I decide that you and your doctor friend are going to pack all your things up and get out of this house just as soon as possible.
I'm glad you recognize the fact that you and I can't live under the same roof together, but I'm afraid you arrived at the wrong solution. We're staying, and you're going, and I mean now.
Jonathan, you are beginning to bore me. You played your one night stand in Brooklyn now, move on.
We're not going anywhere, so take your suitcase and get out!
If you think there's anything I'm afraid of, if you think there's anything I fear,
I've lived a strange life, Mona, but there's one thing I've learned, and that's to be afraid of nothing!
Martha, just look and see what's in that window seat.
Now, Abby!
Jonathan, let Aunt Martha see what's in the window seat. And Abby, I owe you an apology. And I have great news. Jonathan is leaving. Oh, he's taking Dr. Einstein and their old companion with him. Jonathan, you're my brother. You're a rooster. I'm going to give you a chance to get out and take the evidence with you. You can't ask for more than that. No? Very well then. I'll just have to call the police.
Don't reach for that telephone! Are you still giving me orders after you've seen what happened to Mr. Spinalzo?
Spinalzo.
Oh, I knew he was a
Foreigner!
foreigner.
Spinalzo could happen to you too!
Hello, Miss Abby.
Oh, Officer O'Hara, is there something we can do for you?
I just saw your lights on and thought there might be sickness in the house. You got company. Oh, I'm sorry, I just...
Oh, no, you can come right on in.
Officer O'Hara, this is our nephew, Mortimer.
Pleased to meet you.
And this is another nephew, Jonathan.
Pleased to make your acquaintance. Must be nice to have your nephews visiting for a while. Are they going to stick around?
Well, I'm going to stay. My brother Jonathan is just leaving.
So, I bet you're here before, haven't I?
Oh, I'm afraid not. Jonathan hasn't been home for years.
Maybe I've seen a picture of you someplace.
I don't think so.
Yeah, sorry to hurry. If I were you, Jonathan, your things are packed already, aren't they?
Well, you'll be wanting to say your goodbyes. I'll just run along.
Oh, what's so much? I'd like to have you stick around until my brother leaves. Well,
I just dropped in, I'm sure. Right.
well, we're going to have some coffee in a minute. Why don't you join us for that?
Oh, well, I forgot the coffee.
I'm going to make some sandwiches, because I don't know your appetite by now, Officer O'Hara.
Don't bother, really. I'm going to ring in just a few minutes.
Hey, my brother will be gone soon. Join us for a pot of coffee. Come on.
Hey, I've seen a picture of your brother someplace.
I don't think so.
He certainly reminds me of someone.
He really looks like somebody you may have seen in the movies.
I don't go to the movies. Hey, my mother said the movies are a bastard of.
It's full of them. Your mother said that?
Yeah, my mother was an actress, a stage actress. Have you heard of her? Lucia's Latour?
It sounds like a name I've seen in the program. What did she play?
Well, the big hit was Hunting Jack. Played for 3 years. I was born on tour.
You were?
Yeah, Sioux City, Iowa. I was born at the end of the second act, and Mother made the finale.
What a trooper! Well, there's a good story in your mother. You know, I write about the theater.
You do? Well, you're not Mortimer Brewster, the dramatic critic.
Yes.
I certainly am glad to meet you,
Ah.
Mr. Brewster. We're in the same line of business.
We are?
I'm a playwright. Well, it's being in the police force. It's just temporary.
How long have you been on the force?
12 years. I'm collecting material for a play.
Oh, but it's a honey.
Ought to be with all the drama I see in town. Mr. Brewster, you got no idea what goes on in Brooklyn.
I think I do.
So what time you got?
One.
I got it.
Well, wait a minute now, O'Hara. About that play of yours, you know I might be able to help you.
What? It was my fate walking in here tonight. Listen, I'll tell you the plot.
Oh, just leaving, are you? Well, good. You haven't got much time, you know.
Well, everything's just about ready. Oh, you leaving now, Jonathan? Goodbye. Goodbye, Dr. Einstein. Oh, Doesn't this case belong to you?
Yes, Jonathan, you don't want to leave anything behind. Officer O'Hara, it was great meeting you. We'll get together sometime talking about your play.
I'm not leaving now.
Why not?
You just promised I'll move my play. You and me are going to write a play together.
No, O'Hara, I can't do that. I'm not a creative writer.
I'll do the creating. You just put words to it.
O'Hara!
No, sir, Mr. Brewster. I'm not leaving this house until I tell you to plot.
In that case, we'll be running along.
No, don't you try that. You've got to take everything with you. Look, O'Hara, my brother is just leaving, huh?
I can wait. I've been waiting 12 years.
Well,
Martha, are those sandwiches about ready?
I'm so sorry it took me so long.
no, don't bring those in here. O'Hara, would you join us for a bite to eat in the kitchen?
Jonathan's leaving.
Oh, well, that's nice. Come along, Officer O'Hara.
Sure you don't mind eating in the kitchen, Mr. O'Hara?
Where else would you eat?
Well, Jonathan, nice to see you again.
I'm glad you came back to Brooklyn, Jonathan, because it gives me a chance to throw you out. And the first one out is your boyfriend, Mr. Spinalzo.
Say, Mr. Brewster, we can talk in here.
Coming right out! Well, get going now, all three of you.
Doctor, this affair between my brother and me has got to be settled.
Johnny, we got trouble enough. Your brother gives us a chance to get away. What more could you ask?
You don't understand. This has been coming on for quite a while.
Now, Johnny, let's get going.
We're not going anywhere. We're staying here.
With a cope in the kitchen and Mr. Spinozzo in the window seat.
He's got nothing on us. We'll take Spinozzo down and dump him in the bay. Then we'll come back here. And if he tries to interfere,
Johnny?
Doctor, you know when I've made up my mind?
Yeah. When you make up your mind, you lose your head. Brooklyn ain't a good place for you. All right. We'll do it. If we're coming back here, we're going to take these with us.
No, leave them here. Take them down to the cellar and hide them. Spinozzo can go out the same way he came in.
Johnny!
What is it?
You know that hole in the cellar?
Yes?
We got an ace in the hole! Come on, I'll show you.
Jonathan? Jonathan? Jonathan?
Yes?
What are you still doing here? I thought I told you to get going.
We're not going.
Oh, you're not, are you? You don't think I'm serious about this, huh?
We're
Do you want to go
staying
here to noise in this
right here. We're staying here.
All right, fine. This will get me rid of you and Officer O'Hara at the same time. Officer O'Hara, could you come in here, please?
If you tell O'Hara what's in the window seat, I'll tell him what's in the cellar.
The cellar?
There's an elderly gentleman down there just waiting. Yeah.
What were you doing down in the cellar?
What's he doing down in the cellar?
Now, what are you going to tell O'Hara?
Say, Mr. Brewster, you're on to one here or two. Should I get them in here?
No, O'Hara, you gotta go ring in.
The hell with ringing it. I'll get everybody in here and I'll tell you the plot.
No, O'Hara. Not in front of all these people. We'll get together someplace alone later on and discuss it.
Yes, on the back room of Kelly.
Yes, that's fine. You go to ring in and I'll meet you at Kelly's.
Why don't you go down into the cellar?
That's fine with me. Is this the cellar?
But no, you gotta go to Kelly's and you gotta ring out of the way.
All right, that'll only take a couple of minutes.
Okay. You gotta get your sky. I'll be back in 5 minutes. I will expect to find the two of you gone. Wait for me.
We'll wait for him, Doctor. I've waited a long time for this.
We got him right where we want him. Whew. Did he look guilty?
Take the bags back up to the room.
we heard somebody leave.
Just Mortimer, and he'll be back in a few minutes. Is there any food left in the kitchen? Dr. Einstein and I would like a bite.
But you won't have time.
No, if you're still here when Mortimer gets back, he won't like it.
Oh, he'll like it. He's got to like it.
Give us something to eat while we bury Mr. Spinalzo in the cellar.
Oh, no, he can't stay in our cellar. No, Jonathan, you've got to take him with you.
Well, there's a friend of Mortimer's down there just waiting for him. They'll get along quite well together.
A friend of Mortimer's?
They're both dead.
You must be Mr. Hoskins.
Mr. Hoskins?
And we won't have any strangers buried in our cellar.
But Mr. Hoskins.
Mr. Hoskins is not a stranger.
Besides, there's no room for Mr. Spinalzo. The cellar's crowded already.
Then
Crowded?
you know about what's down there?
Crowded with what?
Well, of course we know, and there are 12 graves down there now.
You need to tell me that you murdered 12?
Murdered? Certainly not. It's one of our charities.
I thought we'd been doing with a mercy.
So you just get your Mr. Spinalzo out of here.
You need to tell me that they were on a 12 grave. Buried them down there. In this house.
Tony, we've been chased all over the world. They stay right here in Brooklyn and do just as good as you do.
What?
Well, you got 12 and they got 12.
I've got 13.
No, Tony, 12.
13. There's Mr. Spinalzo, the first one in London, 2 in Johannesburg, 1 in Sydney, 1 in Melbourne, 2 in San Francisco, 1 in Phoenix, Arizona.
Phoenix?
The village station. 3 in Chicago and 1 in South Bend, Indiana.
But you can't count the one in South Bend. He died of pneumonia.
He would have died of pneumonia if I hadn't shot him.
No, Tony. He died of pneumonia. He don't count.
I say he counts. I say 13.
No, Tony. You got 12 and they got 12. The old ladies is just as good as you are.
Oh, they are they? Well, that's easy to fix. All I need is one more. Just one more.
Well, here I am. If you tell them about Mr. Spinalzo, they'll find Mr. Hoskins. That might make them curious, and then they find your other 12 gentlemen.
Mortimer, we know the police better than you do. I don't think they'd pry into our private affairs if we asked them not to.
Yes, but if they found those 12 bodies, they'd have to report to headquarters.
Oh, I'm not so sure they'd bother. They'd have to make a real long report, and if there's one thing a policeman hates to do, it's to write.
But you can't count on that. It might leak out, and you cannot expect the judge and jury to understand.
Oh, Dr. Maplewood,
We know him very well.
he always comes to church to pray, right before election.
And he's coming here to tea someday. He promised.
Well, you must speak to him again about that. His wife died a few years ago and left him very low.
Well, come along, Martha.
But no, you cannot do this. I will not let you. You cannot leave this house, and you cannot have this woman for tea.
Well, if you're not going to do something about Mr. Spinalzo, we are.
I am going to do something about it. We may have to call the police in later on, but if we do, I want to be ready for them.
You've got to get Jonathan out of this house!
And Mr. Spinalzo, too.
Yes!
Will you please let me do this my own way? I got no seats ready.
Mortimer, if they're not out of this house by morning, we're going to call the police.
They will be out. I promise you that. Get to bed, the two of you. Oh, for God's sake, get out of those clothes. You look like you and Anderson.
It's a relief.
Yes. Well, if Mortimer's going to do something at last, that just means Jonathan's going to a lot of unnecessary trouble. We'd better tell him. Oh, Jonathan, you might as well stop what you're doing.
It's done. Did I hear more?
Well, it will just have to be undone. You're all going to be out of this house by morning. Mortimer's promised.
We will. Well, then, you two can run along to bed and have a pleasant night's sleep.
Let's go, Abby.
Good night, aunties.
Not good night, Jonathan. Goodbye. By the time we get up, you'll be gone. Mortimer's promised.
Yes, and he has a way of doing it, too.
Good night. The Mortimer's back.
Oh, yes. He's up here talking to Teddy.
Goodbye, Jonathan.
Goodbye, Jonathan.
Perhaps you should say goodbye to Mortimer.
Oh, you'll see, Mortimer.
Yes. I'll see Mortimer.
Ooh, that's all fixed up. Smooth like a lake. Nobody'd ever know they were down there. Oh, that bed feels good already. 48 hours we didn't sleep. Come, Johnny. Let's go. Yes.
You're forgetting one thing, Doctor.
What?
My brother, Mortimer.
Oh, Johnny. Not tonight? No. When we do that tomorrow or the next day.
No, tonight. Now.
But Johnny, I'm tired. And tomorrow I got to operate.
Yes, tomorrow you operate, but tonight we take care of Mortimer.
But Johnny, not tonight. We go upstairs. It's the
Doctor? Me. You know it's going to be done, don't you?
Johnny, I can see. I know that look.
It's a little too late to resolve our partnership now.
All right, we do it. But the quick way, it's only the quick twist like in London.
No. I think this calls for something special. I think, perhaps, the Maplewood method.
Johnny, no, not that. Oh, 2 hours. And when it was all over, the fellow in London was just as dead as the fellow in Melbourne.
No, London was too quick. There was no aesthetic satisfaction in it, but Melbourne. That was something to remember.
Oh, remember? I wish I didn't. No, Johnny. Not Melbourne, not me.
Yes, Doctor, where are your instruments?
I won't do it, Johnny. I won't do it.
Doctor,
No, Johnny.
where did you put your instruments?
Oh. That's right. In the cellar. Why did you hide them?
I won't tell you.
Find them.
No. Mustn't do that, Mr. President.
But I cannot sign any proclamation without first consulting my cabinet.
But this must be kept a secret.
A secret proclamation? How unusual.
Japan mustn't know until it's signed.
Japan! Oh, shadow devils! Sign it right away!
So,
I'll sign it right away. You have my word for it. I'll consult my cabinet today.
yes, let's go sign it right now.
And you read here, the secret proclamation must be signed in secret.
But at once, Mr. President.
I'll have to put on my signing clothes.
You go now, eh?
No, Doctor. I am waiting on something important.
Please, you go now.
Dr. Einstein. Look, I have nothing against you personally. You seem like a nice fellow. Take my advice. Get out of this house and get as far away as soon as possible.
Trouble now. You go.
All right, don't say I didn't warn you.
I'm warning you. Get away quick.
Well, things are gonna start popping around here any minute now.
Listen, Johnny's in a bad mood. But he's like this. He's a madman. Things happen. Terrible things.
Jonathan doesn't worry me right now.
Ah, Nimmer! Don't those plays they teach you anything?
Like what?
Well, at least people in plays act like they got some sense. That's more than you do.
Oh, you think so, do you? Do you think people in plays act intelligently? Oh, I wish you had to sit through some of the ones I have to sit through. Take the little opus I saw tonight, for example. Now, in this play, there's a man. He's supposed to be bright. He knows he's in a house with murderers. Yeah, no, he's in danger. He's in the morning to get out of the house. But does he leave? No. No, he just stays there. Now I ask you, Doctor, is that how an intelligent person would behave?
Ah, you're asking me?
He didn't even have the sense to be frightened, to be on guard. For instance, the murderer invites him to sit down.
You mean, won't you sit down?
Believe it or not, that one was in there too.
And what did he do?
He sat down. Now, mind you, this fellow's supposed to be bright. Yet there he sits just waiting to be trussed up. And what do you think they used to time?
What?
The curtain pull.
Well, why not? A good idea. Very convenient.
A little too convenient. What players could use some imagination? The curtain cord?
You didn't, see him, you did?
See him? He sat there with his back to him. Right, and this is the story that you have to sit through night after night. They say the critics are killing the theater. It's the playwrights who are killing the theater. So there he sits with a big dope. This guy who's supposed to be intelligent, just waiting to be trussed up and gagged. What?
You're right about that fella. He wasn't very bright.
And now, Mortimer, the rest of the story. I've been gone for nearly 20 years, Mortimer. And in all that time, you haven't once been off my mind. You know, Lord, that's dream about you. When I landed in San Francisco, I had a strange satisfaction that I was in the same country with you. And now, Doctor, we go to work.
Johnny, please, for me, the quick way.
Doctor, your instruments.
All right. Let's get it over with.
All ready for you, Doctor.
I can't do this without a drink. I gotta have a drink. What? No! I gotta have a drink! Remember when we came here this afternoon? There was wine here, remember? Where did you put it? Look, Tony! We got
Well, that's all there is. I split it with you. We both need a drink.
Doctor, you have it. After all, we're performing before a distinguished critic. Moreover, I realize now that it was you who brought me back. A toast, Doctor, to my dear dead brother. That damn idiot! He goes next, that's all! He goes next!
No, not Teddy. That's where I stop. Not Teddy.
We'll get him later.
No, we don't get to him at all.
Fast!
Yes. The quick way.
Yes, Doctor, the quick way. Hey, the Colonel's got a quick blow on that horn. You're taking the mule away from him, officer. It won't happen again.
There's going to be health pay in the morning. We promised the neighbors he wasn't going to do that.
You've taken care of it, officer. Good night.
I better talk to him myself. Where are the lights? Hey, you stood me up. I waited over an hour at Kelly's for you. What happened there?
Well, he was explaining the play he saw tonight. This is what happened to the fella in the play.
Did they have that in the play you saw tonight? They practically stole that from the second act of my play. But my second act, just before the... I would have started the beginning. That was my mother's dressing room, right? Where I was born. Only I ain't been born yet. Oh, no, you gotta hear the rest. What? She's sitting there making up, see? Just where you are. When suddenly, through the door, a man with a black mustache walks in. Turns to my mother and says, Miss Victoria, will you marry me? He doesn't know she's pregnant. Oh. So there she is, right? She's laying on the table in her lingerie. I'm tied up in a chair just like you are. The place is in inferno of flames, it's on fire, there's guy standing over with a hatchet, and all of a sudden, through the window comes Mayor LaGuardia.
Whoa! Oh, you're sorry.
Oh, hey. Go easy on that. Remember who paid for it.
Well, I'm listening, ain't I?
What do you think? How do you like it so far?
He put Johnny to sleep.
Yeah, let him alone. If he ain't got more interest than that, he don't get a drink. Where was it? Oh yeah, 3 days later, right? I've been transferred and I'm under charge. That's because somebody stole my bag. I'm walking my beat on Staten Island, 46 precinct. When all of a sudden, a guy I'm following, it turns out, is really following me. Don't let anybody in. I think he's not smart, right? There's this vacant building on the corner. I goes in.
It's cops!
I'm standing there in the dark and I seize the door handle.
Johnny, it's cops!
I brace myself against the wall, pulls my gun and says, "Come in." Hello, boys. What the hell's going on here? Hey, back. Get a load of this. This is Mortimer Bruce. He's going to help me write my play. I'm just telling the plot now.
You have to tie him up to make him listen? Of course not.
Did they send you guys here for me?
We didn't know you was here.
You came over there late and said the salad pay, and I couldn't visit you again in the middle of the night.
The way the neighbors are calling in about it, you think that Germans would probably call us back and down to that.
Lieutenant says the colonel's got to be put away someplace.
Yes, yes.
Well, I got to get away, Mr. Bruce. So I'll just run through the third act quick.
Yeah, you get away from me.
Say, do you know what time it is? It's after 8 o'clock in the morning.
It is. Those first two acts run a little long. I don't see anything we can cut out.
You can cut it all out.
Who the hell's this guy?
Oh, that's my brother.
Well, the one ran away, so he came back.
Yes, he came back.
Well, that's Brophy, get your Mac. Better let him know we found you, Joe. Yeah, Mac. Tell Lieutenant caught the big manhunt. We've got him. Here in the Bruce house. Want us to bring him in? Okay, keep him right here. Lieutenant's on his way over.
So, been turned in, eh? Well, you've got me, and I suppose you want to split the reward with that stool pigeon brother of mine.
Reward?
Well, now I've got some turning in to do. You think those aunts of mine are sweet little old ladies? Well, there are 13 bodies buried in the cellar. Teddy! Teddy!
Be careful what you're saying about your aunts. They have to be friends of ours.
13 bodies. I'll show them to you. I'll take them down to the cellar.
Wait a minute.
13 bodies. Don't you want to go down into the cellar?
Go on down the cellar with you, man.
I'm not so sure I want to go down the cellar with him. I mean, look at that books. Looks like Forrest Gump.
What? Come on!
I'll kill you! I'll kill you! What do you know about that? Come in.
What the hell are you men doing here? I thought I told you I was going to take care of this.
Well, sir, we was just about to, and what happened? You put up a fight?
Well, this isn't the guy that blows the vehicle. This is his brother. He tried to go crime.
All I said was he looks like Boris Karloff. Hey, whoa, let me look at him.
I kind of think he's wanted somewhere.
Oh, you kind of think he's wanted somewhere, do you? Yeah, if you guys aren't going to pay attention to the circulars we hang up at the station, at least you could read True Detective. Of course he's wanted. In Indiana. He escaped from a prison for the criminally insane. He's a lifer. That's how they described him. He looked like Karloff.
Is there a reward mentioned?
Yeah, and I'm keeping it.
He tried to get us down the cellar with him.
He said there was 13 bodies buried down there.
13 bodies, and that didn't tip you off he's from a nut house?
I thought all along you looked kind of crazy.
Oh, it's Shakespeare. Then where have you been all night? You needn't bother telling.
I've been right here, right in the play with Mortimer Brewster.
Well, you're going to have plenty of time to write that play because you're suspended. Now get back and report in.
Say, can I drop by and use the station typewriter sometime?
No! Get out of here! Hey, take this guy somewhere and bring him to. Find out what you can about his accomplice. The guy that helped him escape, he's wanted too. You know, it's no wonder Brooklyn's in the shape it's in with a police force full of flatheads like you. Leaving this story about 13 bodies in the cellar. But there are 13 bodies in the cellar. Who are you?
I'm President Roosevelt.
The hell is this?
That's the fellow that blows the vehicle.
Morning, Colonel. Colonel, you've blown your last bugle.
Dear me. Another yellow fever victim?
What?
All the bodies in the cellar are yellow fever victims.
Look, Colonel, this is the spy we caught in the White House.
Get that guy out of here.
And if there is any questioning of spies, that's my department.
You keep out of this.
But as president, you forget, sir, as president, I am also head of the Secret Service.
Captain, I'm Mortimer Brewster.
Are you sure?
I wanted to talk to you about my brother Teddy, the one who blew the vehicle.
Now, we ain't going to talk about that guy, Mr. Brewster. He's got to be put away.
Oh, I completely agree with you. In fact, it's all been arranged for. I know that Dr. Gilchrist, our talent physician and police science papers, Teddy has signed it himself. See, and I've signed his next of kin, so it's all taken care of.
Where is he going?
Happy Dale.
You know, I don't care where he goes, as long as he goes.
He's going all right. Now, I wanted to talk to you about what's happened here. Everything happens here, and well, Teddy's responsible for it. And about those 13 bodies in the cellar.
Yeah, those 13 bodies in the cellar. You know, it's not enough that the neighbors are all afraid of him, and he's disturbing the peace with that bugle blowing of his. Could you imagine what would happen if that story about 13 bodies got out? And now he's starting a yellow fever scare. Cute, ain't it?
13 bodies. You think anybody would believe that story?
You know, you never can tell. Some people are just dumb enough. You don't know what to believe sometimes. You know, about a year ago over in Greenpoint, this crazy guy started a murder rumor. We had to spend a whole afternoon digging up a half-acre lot just to prove that there was...
Wait, hold on a second. Captain.
Well, Lieutenant Rooney, I'm glad you're here, Super, because he's going back with you today.
Hey, I didn't know
Oh,
that.
not today.
Elaine, I've got a lot of business to attend to right here, so let's run along home. I'll call you up later on, huh?
Oh, nuts. Ugh.
I had no idea it was this immediate.
Oh yeah, papers are all signed. He's going with you today.
Complete insubordination! You men will find out I am no mollycoddle! When the President of the United States is treated like that, what's this country coming to?
There's your man, Super.
1 second. Mr. President, I have wonderful news for you. Your term of office is over.
Is today March the 4th?
Practically.
Well, let me see. Oh, yes. Now I go on my hunting trip to Africa. Well, I must get started immediately. Is he trying to move into the White House before I move out?
Who, Teddy?
Taft!
This isn't Mr. Taft, Teddy. This is Mr. Witherspoon. He used to be your hunting guide in Africa.
Well, bully, that's just bully. Well, I must get my equipment together. When the story comes, tell them to wait. Goodbye, Aunt Tammy. Goodbye, Aunt Wanda. I'm off to Africa. Isn't it wonderful?
Good morning, aunties.
Hi, we have visitors.
This is Lieutenant Rooney.
Oh, how do you do, Lieutenant? Why, you don't look like a fuss budget the policemen say you are.
Why the police are here, aunties? You know, Teddy blew his bugle last night.
Oh, yes, we must speak to Teddy about that.
It's a little bit more serious than that, Mr. Rooster.
And you haven't met Mr. Witherspoon. He's the superintendent of Happydale Sanitarium.
Oh, Mr. Witherspoon, how do you do?
Oh, you come to meet Teddy.
He's come to take him.
Aunties, please want Teddy to go there today.
No!
Well, not while we're alive.
I'm sorry, Mr. Rooster, but the papers are all signed and he's going.
Oh, we won't permit it. Well, no promise to take the bugle away from him.
We won't be separated from Teddy.
I'm sorry, ladies, but he's committed himself to kill him.
If he goes, we're going too.
Yes, you'll have to take us with him.
Well, why not?
Well, that's sweet of them to want to, but it's impossible. You see, we can't take sane people to cabin.
Oh, Mr. Witherspoon, if you let us go there and live with Teddy, we'll see to it that Happydale will split our bill. And for a very generous amount.
Well, the Lord knows we can use the money, but I'm afraid.
Let's be sensible about this, ladies. Now, for instance, here I am wasting my entire morning dealing with this, when there are more important things for me to be doing. There are still murders to be solved in Brooklyn, you know.
Yes. Are there?
And it's not just his bugle blowing and the neighbors all afraid of him, but you know, eventually we'd be put to the trouble of digging up your whole cellar.
Our cellar.
Yeah, he's been telling around that there's 13 bodies down there.
Well, but there are 13 bodies in our cellar.
Oh, that's why you think Teddy has to go away and down the cellar with us. Now we'll bring it to you.
There's one, Mr. Spinozzo, who doesn't belong there and who will have to go. But the other 12 are our gentlemen.
Now, aunties, I don't think the lieutenant wants to go down into the cellar. Why, he was just telling me that he had to dig a half an acre lot. So weren't you, Lieutenant?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, well, you wouldn't have to dig here. The graves are all marked. We put flowers on them every Sunday.
Flowers? Superintendent, don't you think you can find some room for these ladies?
Oh, we'll just come down to the cellar. We'll show you the graves.
I'll take your word for it, lady. I'm a busy man. Now, how about it, Super?
Well, they have to be committed.
Oh, well, Teddy committed himself. Can they commit themselves? Can't they sign the papers?
Why, certainly.
Ha
You go there and do it, Teddy. We'll sign the papers right now. Where are they?
Yes, where are they? Oh,
He's coming around, Lieutenant.
oh, good morning, Miss Klein.
Oh, it's fun. Good morning. Are you here too?
Yeah, me and Brooke, you've got your other nephew out in the kitchen.
Oh, that's not
All right, let's get these papers all signed. I want to get this all cleaned up. 13 bodies.
We'll sign right there, and you there, Aunt Abby.
I'm really looking forward to going. Oh, we need to put it here in this change, so.
Yes. Just just think from one again.
Oh, we're overlooking something.
What?
Well, we're going to meet the signature of a doctor.
Oh, geez.
Oh, doctor.
Dr. Einstein. Come over here for a second, Doctor. You know, at one point last night, I thought the doctor was going to operate on me. Right over there, Doctor. The sign right there.
Were you leaving, Doctor?
I think I must go.
Aren't you gonna wait for Jonathan?
I don't think we're going to the same place.
Hey, Lane, great to see you. Stick around, will you?
Hello, Mac. Yeah, it's Rooney. We got that guy that's wanted in Indiana. There's a description of his accomplice. It's there on my desk. Would you get it? Read it for me? All right. 5'9", 108 pounds, blue eyes. Sorry. Speaks with a German accent. Poses as a doctor. All right, thanks, Mac.
It's all right, Lieutenant. The doctor here has just completed the signatures.
Thanks, Doc. You're doing Brooklyn a real service.
Mr. Brewster, the sign now is next to him. Ah, yes.
And this makes everything complete, everything legal?
Yes, fine.
Oh, well, aunties, now you're safe.
When do you think you'll be ready to start?
Mr. Witherspoon, why don't you go upstairs and tell Teddy just what he can take along?
Upstairs? Oh, here, I'll show you.
No, Mortimer. You stay here. We want to talk to you. Yes, Mr. Witherspoon, just up the stairs and turn to your left.
Well, now, Mortimer, now that we're leaving, this house is really yours.
Yes, dear. We want you to live here now.
Oh, no, Aunt Abby, I couldn't do that. This house is too full of memories.
Well, after you leave Lincoln, you'll need a home.
Aunt Martha, that's very indefinite right now.
Oh, that's nothing of the kind. We're getting married right away.
Mortimer, we're really very worried about something.
Don't you worry, Aunt Abby. You are going to love it at Happydale.
Oh, yes, we're very happy about the whole thing. That's just it. We don't want anything to go wrong.
Will they investigate those signatures?
I don't think anybody's going to look up Dr. Einstein.
Oh, it's not his signature, dear. It's yours.
You see, you signed as next of kin.
Well, of course, why not?
Well, you see, dear, it's something we never really wanted to tell you, but now you're a man, and it's something you ain't should know too. You see, dear, you're not really a Brewster.
Your mother came to us as a cook, and you were born a few months afterward. She was such a lovely woman and such a good cook, we didn't want to lose her, so brother married her.
I'm not really a Brewster.
Oh, now, dear, don't be upset.
And Elaine, it won't make any difference to you.
Elaine, do you hear? Do you understand? I'm a bastard!
Well, I really must see about getting breakfast started.
Well, Mortimer's coming over to my house. Father was going to Philadelphia, and Mortimer and I are going to have breakfast together.
Yes, I could use some coffee. I've had a very long night.
Well, in that case, I should think you're going to get to bed.
I do.
One moment, Witherspoon. Take this with you.
We won't need the wagon. My car's out front.
Oh, are you leaving, Jonathan?
Oh, yeah. He's going back to Indiana. There's some people there that want to take care of him for the rest of his life. Come on.
Well, Jonathan, it's nice to know you have someplace to go.
We're leaving, too.
Yes, we're going to Happydale.
When this house is seen, the last of the Brewsters,
Oh, unless Mortimer wants to live here.
but I have a suggestion. Why don't you turn this property over to the church?
Well, we never thought about that.
After all, this house should be part of the cemetery.
All right, I'm a busy man. Get going.
Well, aunties, I can't better my record right now, but at least I have the satisfaction that neither can you. The score stands, well, the score stands even! 12 to 12!
Jonathan always was a mean boy. Never could stand to see anybody get ahead of him.
Oh, I wish we could show him he isn't so smart. Mr. Witherspoon. Does your family live with you at Happydale?
I have no family.
Oh, well, I suppose you consider everybody at Happydale your family.
I'm afraid you don't quite understand. As head of the institution, I have to keep quite aloof.
Oh, that must make it very lonely for you.
It does, but my duty is my duty.
Well, Martha, if Mr. Witherspoon won't join us for breakfast, I think the least we can do is offer him a glass of elderberry wine.
Elderberry wine?
We make it ourselves.
Oh, yes. Of course, at Happydale, our relationship would be more formal, but here, you don't see much elderberry wine nowadays. I thought I'd had my last glass of it.
Oh, no.
No,